I know what you're thinking. Rachel got replaced by this guy. Yep. Welcome to the Beyond Files, where the videos are cursed, the vibes are questionable, and my new co ghost doesn't talk back. Rachel has stepped away from the show, and I wish her well on her next adventure. In the meantime, I've upgraded to someone a little quieter, a little deader, and 100% more committed to the bit. Say hello to Dusty. He's got no opinions, zero emotional baggage, and has never once hexed anyone on air, so we're off to a good start. Ready to question reality? You're definitely in the right place. Let's dive in.
The inside of Karnak Temple is the temple of Ptah and Sekhmet, and this is a statue of Sekhmet.
Wow.
Sekhmet was the wife of Ptah, but I want to show you somebody else took a photo, and something random appeared in the photograph.
Okay.
It's quite interesting. And keep in mind, this is Ptah and Sekhmet's temple. So
Okay,
this
so
is
what-
this is a photograph of the same statue.
That blurry person in front.
That blurry thing that showed up on the photo.
Is it there? Is it, or is it just?
No, this is not something that was actually physically in the room.
Wow.
This is somebody taking photos.
So that's not. That looks like a person walking in front of the camera.
That looks like Ptah, the wife of Sekhmet. Wow. And interesting, when I showed you the images before of Ptah, and he's standing there with the Jed pillar, whenever you see the Jed pillar, he holds it about chest level, and if you look at about chest level, you see all that weird wavy stuff.
Yeah.
It's almost like a vibration or frequency coming from that point.
Wow. I think that's either a blessing or a blood pact. Egypt doesn't play. Well, she didn't wave. That's how you really know she's a witch. This next clip comes from a new friend of the show, the legendary Jimbo, straight out of Forsyth, Georgia. He's been holding it down by the fire pit, watching the veil dance at night, and captured something he thought we'd appreciate. And you know what? We do. Jimbo says he's been a fan for the past 2 months and caught every video, which means he's officially one of us now. You've earned your honorary Beyond badge, Jimbo. We'll send Dusty to deliver it, spiritually, of course. So light a candle, and let's take a look at what Jimbo caught beyond the flames.
Dude, I don't know what the hell this is. 4 UFOs. Oh my goodness. Check that out.
They always show up in 3s or 4s, don't they? It's like they know that that's the aesthetic minimum to get our attention.
Okay, so this video is going viral right now on Twitter of an airplane steward spraying something mysterious down the hall. Now, you may think this is someone like, what is this, a deodorizer or something? No. This is approved by the World Health Organization. And they don't always do it when people are on the plane able to see, but sometimes they'll spray before you get on or after you get off, so before the next person gets on, and wait until you hear what's in this stuff. Now, this is the video we saw last week of another steward. This is on a plane in Spain, actually. And this one's interesting because the guy recording actually ends up talking to the steward, asking her what the Sandam's going on, because he started coughing after, and he got a headache, and they ended up telling him that they have to spray this per company policy, and that it has been approved or mandated by the World Health Organization. She ends up telling him, they find out on the bottle for the first time, it seems that the stewards actually read what it is that they're spraying and not just blindly believe that it's completely safe and good, that it's an ingredient called permethrin. You can see here that airlines sometimes spray permethrin on planes, a process called disinsection, and that the World Health Organization and the International Civil Aviation Organization approve permethrin for this purpose. It's used as an insecticide. But the shocking thing is that it's kind of like throwing the baby out with the bathwater. You're just going to spray everyone's air with this freaking thing. You're going to inhale an insecticide. Is that the best way to stop insects from spreading? I don't know. Have you ever seen them spray this stuff on a plane that you've been on?
And these are the same flights where the tray table hasn't been cleaned since 2013. I've been sick after every flight I've ever taken. Now I know. I just thought it was the cabin filtration system.
Y'all, this Redditor captured proof that shadow people exist. What makes this footage more compelling than most of the videos that I've watched is the fact that there's not one but two angles of this thing captured on security cameras. So the first angle is right here. A car will drive by, and then right after it you'll see two shadow people running behind it. 1, 2. They run across in front of the porch and they run out of frame. Now, if you couldn't see it the first time, I zoom in, brighten the image so you can see it better. There are two distinct shadow figures in this video, and there they go off frame. Now, this is the front porch angle. They also have an angle from their side porch as well. Now, watch closely. There goes the car, and then here it comes into frame right there. This is such a good capture because there's not usually two different angles on something like this, and in this there is. So what do you guys think? Let me know, and don't forget to like and follow for more. Good night.
Excuse me, sir. Have you heard about your car's extended warranty?
What if our psych patients really aren't crazy? Y'all tap in for a hot take. Me and my boy, who's also a nurse, got to talking, and we were just reminiscing about a day that we had in the ER one time. And the basis of the conversation was about 3 psych patients that we had in 2 days. So the first psych patient swore up and down that there were roaches and spiders crawling all over the room. And he was like, yo, do you see that? And I'm like, we're taught not to entertain the thought. So we're like, no, we don't see that. And we're trying to orient him to what we see. He's like, nah, bro, get me the fuck out of here, man. There's roaches on my goddamn leg. He starts swatting at his leg and shit. So me and my boy, we're calming him down. We get him medicated to keep him calm. And so, just what you do for a psych patient in the ER. That's what we do. And then after that, you hit the charting and you say the patient's having tactile and visual hallucinations. But this is where shit gets weird. This guy was in the room for about 8 hours. The next patient came in after we transferred that guy out to the same room. Now, this patient does have a history of psychosis, but no hallucinations. I walk in the room just to introduce myself to the patient and get to know what's going on with the patient. This patient looks frightened as hell when I walk in, and she's balled up, and she's like, before we start anything, can you kill all these bugs? And I'm like, what? She's like, you don't see all of these bugs around? So I get to look at I'm like, not this again. No, there's no bugs, right? You can't entertain the patient, so I'm not going to entertain the patient. She starts going crazy wild because she has a deathly fear of bugs, and she just can't stand to stay in the room. So we ended up moving her to a different room. The next patient comes in. This girl was in the ER for about 10 hours. I think that's what we said. The next patient comes in. The same goddamn thing. He comes in the room. He's like, no, get me the fuck out of here. What the hell is that? And I'm like, what is what? He's like, bro, there's literally a spider crawling towards my bed. So now I'm like, you sure? So he goes, quote, yeah, man, there's spiders and roaches in this bitch, unquote. So now the only thing going through my head, instead of medicating him immediately for psychosis or just, being irate, I'm like, hold on, bro. Am I the one that needs to be medicated? 3 patients, all with different diagnosis, see the same thing? Am I the one living in La La Land? Are we the ones not Are we really the psych patients? Are the psych patients really tapped in? Bro, y'all let me know. But that's the conversation we had, and we was like, hey, bro, maybe they really tapped into something that we not really seeing, bro. And we keep medicating them and suppressing their reality, which might actually be reality. And we might be the ones who are not tapped in. Y'all let me know what you think. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. But there's no way.
So I think it begs the question, are they hallucinating or are they just seeing what's actually there on the other frequency? We always assume it's the crazy ones who are out of tune. What if they're just tuned into the wrong station and we're the static? It's wild how certain rooms, places, and energies act like amplifiers, and you don't need to be psychic to feel it. Sometimes all it takes is like a crack in the mind's filter.
This one guy demonstrates how magnets can allow people to control you.
Watch me use a magnet to switch off the speaking parts of my brain. So this is me speaking normally. Hi, my name is Jake. Now watch when I stimulate the speaking parts of my brain, the magnet. Hello, my name is Jake. And I can't speak very well. But now I can speak fine because the magnet is switched off.
If they could do that with just magnets, imagine what else they could do. And that's just simple technology.
I'm not saying don't try this at home, but I'm definitely saying don't try this at home.
I have a question about eye color surgery, and I mean no disrespect to these patients, no disrespect to these, a little disrespect to these doctors actually. Because why are they always picking the most unnatural, flattest contacts to put in these eyes permanently? I have never seen an eye color change surgery that has looked natural. What's up with that? Like, she's beautiful, but this is scary. It's always got that dark limbo ring around the outside. You can see it pretty prominently here. I don't know if that's just her natural eye color peeking through or if that's done on purpose, because I've seen that with a lot of these procedures, but it looks beautiful on a natural eye. But here, it just makes it look even flatter, even more like a contact. Like, look at that. It looks worse than a Halloween contact. And note how I don't even need to point out which one is the natural eye color and which one is the surgically done one. It's this one, obvious. I challenge you to find me an eye color change surgery that does not look scary.
It makes you wonder, in a world obsessed with appearances, are we forgetting what our eyes were meant to see? If we're willing to risk blindness for beauty, what truths are we refusing to face? Yeah, those definitely aren't natural. By the way, if you suddenly feel like you're being watched, you are.
Creepy Real Photos That Keep Me Up at Night Part 48. These photos were sent to me by a viewer. They said, I was home alone studying when I decided to rest and started drawing, so I took 2 photos of my dog to draw. When I was about to start, I noticed one photo looked normal. This is the normal photo. Take a look at the reflection in the eye. But I zoomed into the eye of the other photo and noticed that in the reflection, I could see myself, the living room, and 2 entities. The entities must have been pretty tall because they reached the ceiling. Follow for more creepy real photos.
Well, we know animals see beyond us, always have. Maybe the lens just caught what the dog already knew was standing there?
Man from Mexicali, Mexico explains that nearly every night around 3 a.m. he hears knocking at his front door, but every time he opens it, there's nobody there. Ever since he first opened the door, he has been seeing this strange old woman standing outside his house, just staring inside. On one night, the man decides to confront her, then this happens. He hears knocking on his door, but as he goes to check, he finds no one there. The very next night, he's woken up to something moving inside his house. Then the knocking continues. After hearing another strange sound, he opens the door and finds a plant root outside the door. He then starts seeing a cat staring right into his window at 4 a.m., similarly to how the woman was. Because of all this, he thinks she might be a witch trying to get inside his house.
So there's this old folklore in parts of Mexico where witches that travel at night, they mark homes with branches or ash before they cross your threshold. And if that's true, this guy didn't just open the door, he basically invited it in. Dusty, if anyone knocks tonight, do not answer it. All right, let's cleanse our algorithm and move on.
3 months ago, Justin bought himself a 2002 Nissan Xterra and filmed himself as he installed brand new reverse lights.
The lights are definitely functional, but unfortunately I live in a city and there are street lights everywhere. But I can find a place to go test them. Okay, I found some really dark woods. I just put some tin foil over the reverse lights. So I'm going to show you what the stock reverse lights look like, and then I'm going to uncover them and show you what the added reverse lights look like. These are the stock reverse lights.
Literally can't see anything.
And these are the ones I just installed. Look how friggin' bright that is. This is amazing. That was a hand, y'all. These are not just for looks.
Did you see it? As Justin turns on the lights, an arm wrapped around a tree can be seen sliding its way slowly out of sight. After many comments from freaked out viewers, Justin finally sees the arm and decides to go back to investigate during the day.
Okay, this road goes down to the lake, which is right there in a public boat landing. This is where my truck was backed in. Well, it's actually a path, and that is the tree with the stick leaned up against it. As you can see, people illegally dump stuff out here all the time. Mostly trash, but a lot of animal carcasses too. And this is the tree.
Ooh, you lucky you turned that light on. It was coming for you.
And here we are behind the tree. It's where my Xterra was backed in. I'm about 5'10". I'm not a very superstitious person, so you're not going to get much out of me. I just think, if anything, what? Somebody back here?
So I don't know if this is real, but either way, it's a big old nope from me. What the hell does that even mean?
That? Oh, new discoveries about how water affects the body after different sounds and frequencies are played to it? Tell me more. The discoveries they have made about water and how it affects the body with the frequencies and sounds you put into it are insane. What they did first is they grabbed an HIV-infected DNA and they put it inside of water. Then what they did is they recorded that sound. They then shipped that across the country, grabbed another glass of water, played that sound to the glass of water, and it was infected with the HIV DNA. Oh, goody! What they did next is they then got the sound and frequency of Tylenol and Advil. And what they did is they played that sound to a glass of water. Then when you drink that glass of water, just from that sound and frequency being played, nothing in it other than that, you have the same effects of Tylenol and Advil after drinking that water. Oh, fun! This could be groundbreaking in the field of medicine. Oh, goody!
Hydration with side effects. All right, quick intermission before we get chased by another haunted shadow or gifted cursed hydration by science. Dusty says I have to tell you this next part or he's walking off the set again. So here goes. If you're enjoying the strange trip through the weird and the weirder, hit that like button like it's a witch knocking on your back door. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're diving into mysteries every week, and I'd love for you to be a part of the crew. And if you want to toss a little ghost coin into the hat to keep this little spooky circus rolling, you can visit my Ko-fi page, link in the description, or use the super thanks right here on YouTube. Every little bit helps me keep the lights on and Dusty in fresh bone polish. To my regular tribe, you magical legends, You already know I love you. Thanks for walking this strange road with me. I see you, I feel you, I'm grateful beyond words. And if you are new here, welcome.
Here's a fun psychological game. Answer the following questions as fast as you can. What's 1 plus 1? What's 2 plus 2? What's 4 plus 4? What's 8 plus 8? Now, name a vegetable as fast as you can. If you said carrot, your brain operates the same as about 90% of people who play this game. This phenomenon, known as priming, occurs when the brain is subtly influenced or prepared to produce a specific response. In this case, performing simple mathematical calculations steers the mind toward a straightforward and conventional thought process, leading most people to choose carrot. However, if you named a different vegetable, it suggests that your thinking remains independent and resistant to external cues designed to guide it toward a predictable pattern. This demonstrates cognitive flexibility and strong autonomous decision-making, highlighting your brain's ability to break away from the norm and think creatively, even under subtle psychological influence. This ability to defy expectations can be an asset in problem-solving, innovation, and navigating complex situations that require thinking beyond conventional boundaries. Let us know which vegetable you chose in the comments.
Well, I said tomato, so I don't know. I think we're both pretty doomed.
I know this room is haunted, and I'm here by myself tonight. And my name is Ansley, by the way. I've never been to the Glen Tavern Inn. This is my first time, and since I'm by myself, might as well talk to you, ghost, for a little bit. I'm not looking to get haunted, but I do have a game that I want to play with you today, right now, using this bell. You can answer yes with 1 ding and no with 2. Okay. So I'm going to go downstairs to the bar and get you a cocktail, whatever you want. So we're going to use this device to figure out what cocktail you want. So you're not haunting me all night, okay? That's my offering. All right. Cool. So my first question is, are you over 21? Okay. I can't really check your ID, but cool. I'll just take that as a yes. I'm gonna go through the alcohol bases, and you tell me which one that you want. Tequila. Whiskey. Gin. Bourbon. Do you just want a bourbon like nothing else? Like a neat bourbon? Just... Or do you want some... Okay. I can get you a neat bourbon. You don't want anything else in it? You don't want like a... That's it? Just bourbon? All right. A simple man. All right, wait, are you a man? Sorry, if you're a woman, I apologize. Are you a man? Are you a woman? Okay! Yes!
Classy, haunted, and probably just a little bit flammable.
So a bit of a different video today. Honestly, not sure if I should call the cops, but something pretty fucked up happened to me last night. I was out walking my dogs. I have 2 mutts, and as I turned the corner to get back onto the street that my house is on, I saw this guy. He was standing in my neighbor's yard in a full black suit and holding an umbrella, which is very strange because it's hot as hell right now, and it certainly didn't rain last night. But recently, I have seen a few posts from people saying they've seen this guy, so I took my phone out and took a picture. And this was weird as hell, but right after I did that, he began humming this very bizarre chant, and I have no idea what he was saying. And then right after that, my dogs went ballistic. They started barking like crazy, but they were still cowering behind me, and I turned just for a split second to look at them. And as soon as I did that, they stopped barking entirely. I turned back around to where the guy was, and he's gone. After that, went home, poured myself a tall glass of bourbon, locked all the doors, and did a little more research. Apparently there has been a bunch of sightings of this guy recently, and maybe it's more than one person. I honestly don't know. But if anyone's seen this dude or knows someone who has, please let me know, because I think there's a lot of us out there right now that would really like some answers.
Sounds like one of those weird one-off local stories, right? But I looked in the comments and people all over the country are seeing the same thing. Same pose, same umbrella, same weird chanting. Really, Dusty?
Jahangir appeared to me at night with a little girl who looked like an Olsen twin, and she was like, I'm a missing girl. My dad killed me. No one knows. Draw my picture. This is my missing person picture. She said the name Kayla.
Oh my God.
And I was like, oh God, I've really gone off the deep end. I'm really crazy now. I guess there's a tiny chance that this could be real. I drew her missing person photo, wrote down the details of what she said. Fast forward like months later, my sister Amy, she's like, Ivy, that girl you drew a picture of is in the news. She really is a missing person. And her stepmom, Kayla, was just arrested. Their last name's Montgomery. And her missing person picture looks like just like the picture you drew. And I read the article and I was like, holy shit. And they just thought she was missing. She'd been missing for 2 years. Her name was Harmony. I had just heard Kayla, which her stepmom Kayla ended up being the main witness. I got so much evidence from Harmony about how she died before the police knew that she was even missing. Based on this, I had been telling my therapist about this. They were like, send what you know to the tip line. Sent them what I had heard as a medium. Harmony came through and described her death as like the nightmare on Elm Street. She died on Elm Street in this, like, excuse me, this is a gross detail, but it's like so evidential. She was like, I was in a freezer somewhere for a while at a restaurant that closed during COVID, and it had something to do with Ghostbusters. I don't think I told them something they didn't already know as police doing investigations. I just knew it before they did as a medium. And so like, oh, and then the DNA analyst in the court trial who testified, his last name was Aykroyd, like Dan Aykroyd from Ghostbusters. So there were Ghostbusters.
Wow.
Which,
and you were ghostbusting.
I guess so.
This one makes me sad. Little one's still reaching out. The veil doesn't forget the missing.
Alan got...
They never tell you this, but 89% of reported paranormal experiences come from women. Is it because bitches be crazy? Or something more? For centuries, society branded them witches, hysterics, or storytellers with fertile imaginations. But maybe women are more sensitive to subtle environmental signals. As many of you know from working with our psychic training device and mind-to-mind systems, psychic ability is mediated by the right temporal lobe, amygdala, and hippocampus. And what is received by the right hemisphere is interpreted by the left. Neuroscience shows that women have more interhemispheric connections, more crosstalk between the two sides of the brain. Could this make them more receptive to psychic impressions? Or is all of this just cultural? That women are just more accepted when they report strange experiences, especially if they have a pretty face and nice titties, while men are largely ignored and expected to bury it. History punished people for voices and visions, but what if the so-called witch trials were just an attempt to suppress the psychic minority? Do you think that women are just more naturally intuitive, or has history largely ignored men's experiences like every other need? Comment below.
We've known it for centuries. Witches, mediums, moms who just know when you're lying. I mean, it's not magic, it's female pattern perception. Traditionally, feminine energies had intuition, sensitivity, empathy, and emotional openness. But I have noticed that male psychic intuitives come off a little effeminate, no offense to anyone. And I always wondered why. But I think it's because they're allowing those receptive energies to lead. And, you know, in our culture where masculine traits are defined by control, dominance, and linear logic, that stands out. And it's just my 2 cents.
A woman named Carla was out treasure hunting near a cemetery and detected gold buried somewhere nearby. After a while of digging up the ground, she managed to find 2 bars of gold and an unusual old box. Wondering if there might be more gold inside, she opens the box and discovers a black dress, some more gold, and some other strange items. However, on the very next night, something visits her house. After seeing nothing through her Ring camera, she decides to open the door, but finds nobody there. The next morning, she goes through all her doorbell footage to see if she can find out who or what has been knocking on her door during such late hours of the night. When she sees this. A creepy pale figure can be seen just staring into Carla's doorbell camera and whimpering as it quickly hides behind the wall. Could it be that by opening the door she has just let this into her house? Either way, this is why you shouldn't remove anything from graveyards.
There's a reason Tomb Raiders don't usually get a happy ending. Ask any mummy movie. Or, Dusty.
Welcome back to Spooky TikTok. I am Nurse Meg. I've been a nurse for 16 years and the paranormal just seems to follow me everywhere. So here is one of my creepy stories. This one time I had a patient in PCU. I was working night shift and she had a cardiac cath scheduled for the next morning. Pretty simple. She would not sign the consent forms all day the day before. I tried to ask her again a couple times, hey, you haven't signed the consent forms and they're going to come and get you pretty early, like 7:30. She was like, I can't go. If I go, I'm going to die. Do you want to watch the procedure on YouTube with me? Like, it's a pretty simple thing. She still insisted, no, if I go get that procedure, I'm going to die. And I said, okay, I'm sorry you feel that way. The doctor will be here in the morning and he can talk to you. It's up to you. And I should point out, she was completely alert and oriented, times 3. So the doctor comes in and is like, hey, how doctors are, they're like, I've got 70 million patients. Like, let's go. You want this done? Let's go. Like, what's happening? What's going on? So, kind of pressuring her, like, it's a simple procedure. I'm just going to go in, peek, pull it. We're going through radial. We're not going through femoral. Like, it's going to be so simple. You're going to be out of here tomorrow, maybe end of the day. She finally signs the consents and she's so worried. She's signing it. And as she's signing it, she's like, I am signing my death certificate. I can't believe I'm doing it. Cath lab comes, takes her away on the stretch, and I'm taking care of another patient. I come out to chart by her room. All of a sudden, overhead, I hear code blue, cath lab, room, whatever, and I get instant chills, like, was that her? Oh my God. And then maybe like 5 seconds later, where I'm sitting in there just like frozen, I'm like, I can't chart. What if that was her? I see her bed, because I took her on the cath lab stretcher. I see her bed, which the wheels were locked, move towards the door. The whole bed moves towards the door, and the EKG leads that I had put on the monitor are swinging back and forth, like kind of violently. I'm like, oh my God. I get up from the thing and I'm like, Kendra, somebody talk to me. I don't want to be here. It was like, as her spirit was going up, she was like, I told you. I will never forget that. And I will always listen to a patient's intuition.
Never ignore the pre-op prophecies. Rachel and I interviewed Nurse Meg and Miriam. And if you're interested, check it out. It's season 3 of the podcast. It was a really good interview. Drone just got ghost bombed. Wait, Dusty's using bone conduction to tell me something. He says, next time, use a spirit clearance tower.
Sometimes I like to go for walks in graveyards.
Nice. Well, that's a wrap for this week's Paranormal Patchwork. If you've seen something spooky or you are something spooky, email me at tothespiritpod@gmail.com. And until next time.